Hey everyone, welcome back to the Chessyard. This is Dhairya Bagga, and I'll be playing the 5 minute Blitz today on Lead Chess. So let's get started. Got the white pieces here, so I'll play into London. Pawn d4, followed by knight f3. Bishop comes first on f4. Then we close the diagonal by moving e3, offering bishop exchange on d3, which he denies. Um, Here I can start pushing my pawns forward. Taking here makes more sense. So, yep, let's take. Push the pawn forward, and now make sure that to take the bishop away from the game. I can hold on to it. I will take this, but just waiting for him to. Now we can take. Now I'll create some weakness in the center for him. The pawns are now. Pawn chin is broken. Give a check. If he saves with the queen, that would have been good, but he gives away a pawn, so why not take it? Can develop the knight, threatening the d2 e4 pawn as well. Yeah, let's take it. Attacking the queen as well, developing your piece with the tempo. Threatening e6 with queen, so he has to save that. My idea is to probably place the knight over here and then attack a couple of pieces. The knight won't get trapped for sure. If he moves away his knight first, I'll move away my queen. Oh, he's giving queens for exchange. I should take it. I'm pawns ahead. Structure is solid. Yep, let's take. That should be comfortable from here. 3 pawns ahead. Okay, so he will be trying to attack the f2. Of course, I can castle, but let me first attack his rook. He goes back. I can get my rook on the f file. Or let's wait. I'll push the pawn forward. If he pushes the pawn forward as well, I can take away my knight. Oh, he doesn't. Uh, let's continue with our attack. Now he does. Couple of moves here. Can get the knight over here. Centralize it or attack. This makes more sense. Challenging the rook as well. Let's see where he goes. Now I can get my knight on c5 over here. The knight has a good square, d7, just in case. Pawn structure is pretty solid. He closes the chain, so now I can definitely move the rook on the f1. I can take it. And look at harmful to me for now. His knight comes in, that's the only problem. If I move it forward, then what? His knight cannot come in. Let's move the pawn forward. Why let your opponent do stuff which he is willing to? Now I'll offer him a pawn break if he wants to. If he moves forward, I can take with the knight. He loses a pawn. So he has to take now. Oh, he doesn't. Asking me to take. Rather, I will take the a pawn here. He is not doing much over here. I can just come back on the same square. Uh, I still don't want to take it. I'll just remove the pin from the king. He takes finally, loses out his cool. Now I take with the rook. He can attack, not really. I can go on the sixth rank here, attacking the knight. Knight would probably hop in over the b4. No, he doesn't. Okay. Trying to take on the pawn. Of course, I can't take, so I'll defend the pawn chain. He can take on the c pawn now. Oh, this is not going very well. I'll offer him the pawn so that I can get my rook in between. A rook exchange can happen from here. He played well. From the position he was in, 3 pawns down, he still played well. Here I have to go back and defend my rook if he exchanges. If he doesn't, oh, he doesn't. And I can trap his both the rooks over here. So one is going. He's saying that you take mine, I'll take yours. But the problem with him is the condition remains the same. So I'm not letting him do stuff on his terms right now. So still the same position. I'm losing out on time, so I have to be fast from here on. Okay, we take on. He takes back. We have to move up and protect the pawn as well. Two rooks versus a knight and rook. Let me attack. No, I can't. I can. I can. He can not attack me from e file because my rook is standing over there. Okay, we'll go to the seventh rank now. And now with both the rooks, or just wait. We'll wait one more move. Can I try? Oh, his knight is hanging. Now I need to exchange the rooks and then promote one of them. Okay, I'll move the pawn forward. Continue doing that. He's trying to come from behind. Can push the pawn forward. A check. Another check. It's mate. Phew, that was close. 1 second remaining. Gosh, I need to play faster now. I've been playing a bit slow. Maybe I'm trying to be instructive during my games, and that's affecting my speed. But yeah, that's also important. Otherwise, why will anyone watch the videos? So let's take the computer analysis. D4, D4, D5. So knight f3, bishop f5. He develops his bishop first. I develop the dark square bishop now. He tries to take control of the center by moving e6 here. So respond with e3. He develops his knight. I offer him bishop exchange, which he denies. Computer suggesting to take over the knight over here, but I started moving my pawns forward. Again, I have to take the bishop. There's no good retrieval square from there. And here I went to open up my king side. The idea was never to castle on the king side, but if required on the queen side. Here he pushes the bishop backwards, and I place my knight on a good centralized square, which is e5 here, attacking the bishop as well as the f7, which is always vulnerable for the opponent. Here he tries to break the situation center, so I move c4 here, giving some extra support over there, and he blunders, due to which I first take on the bishop, then take the knight, uh, and post that my position is pretty much strong, 2.4 in favor of white. Yep, that's what I did here, giving him a check. Uh, he saves with a knight, so I take the pawn, both the best moves. And then knight development, the last minor piece remaining in the game, to d2. Here he gets his rook on c8, trying to throw some discover attacks later on the game by moving the knight away, attacking the queen. Here I first take on the pawn on e4, making sure that I'm punishing his pawns, this bad pawn chain. Here he moves queen, and yes, again, finding the right move, moving knight to c5. He's offering queen for exchange after moving here because I'm giving a check, and that's what happens in the game. So after this, I'm 5.1 ahead. Should have been more comfortable win, but it went down to the wire. Here, computer suggesting close the rook down over there. Oh, I missed this, but yeah, it was still fine. He goes back. I started pushing my h pawn forward. This is still going fine, and I retrieved the knight as well on a decent square. He's threatening, so back to c5. He closes the pawn chain. So in such a situation, he should not close the pawn chain because that gives me freedom to move my rook as well. Because these two pawns will be controlling the three pawns of my opponent. Here I started moving my rook on f1, making sure that I can castle maybe. But here he moves pawn to b4, due to which I cannot castle for sure. Here I cross the pawn, not letting him uh, jump into my position with his knight. Otherwise, knight can be very troublesome. He can give a check and fork my king and the rook. So not letting him do what he wants to do over here. So move the pawn forward. He tries to attack. I offer him a pawn now, which doesn't take. I took on the a pawn here. Oh, I missed this move. I should have moved pawn to d5, forking both the pieces, but I rather moved knight. That would have been completely crushing, but yeah, this was also okay. Should not be missing such things though. Then moving the king upwards towards the center, removing the pin from the rook. He takes on the pawn finally. I take back with the rook. I'm still pretty much comfortable in my position. I don't know where I goofed up. Attacking the knight. He goes over here. Oh, this was a bad move because I'm letting him take my pawn and then even affecting the e3. So he takes, go up, he takes another pawn, rook exchange. Here he denies the rook exchange, and yep, I forked both his rooks with the knight. Now I had to go on the seventh rank, but rather I went to attack the knight. He moves, and I took the Rook, okay. He takes with the king. Yes, moving the king upwards. Pretty much in control, going to the seventh rank. Had to move the pawn forward. Oh, because then if he takes, I can trouble him with my king on b4 here, c4 here. So yeah, that's something again could have been better. Here he gives a check with his knight, and I take that, aligning both the rooks. It's mate and 13 from here, mate and 9. I missed the best moves, of course, because I was running hard on time, pushing the pawn forward, trying to create some extra pressure. And he was also like pretty much doing good over here. He wanted to come on d1, making sure that once my king is moved, he takes on the d6, and then he can win on time pretty easily, maybe. But here, I first saved that and then moved towards him. It's mate in 4, and he moves in the wrong direction over here. So, yep, it's mate in 1. Again, the advantage of the pawn chain. He had closed it had he just went on with the exchange on the H and G files. This wouldn't have been a mate situation over here for sure. Also, had an extra piece, so yeah, nothing to be complaining about. Was a comfortable win, apart from on time. Yep, completely dominating throughout. 70 point loss of 32. One blunder, of course. This we know where I made it. I hope you like the game. Interesting game again. Keep sharing your feedback. I would love to improve from here on. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye bye.